Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part. Today's video is a mini makeover, that's what I'm calling it. It's $0, did not take a lot of time. I feel like sometimes we get sucked into these like extreme makeover videos here on YouTube, maybe it's HGTV, whatever it is, but I did want to let you guys see that you can have a mini makeover and just make your space work better for you. You don't have to spend any money, maybe just a little bit of elbow grease. It doesn't even have to be several days, it can be like 30 minutes or an hour, and you can make your space work for you. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is moving this mirror. So I need a mirror in here because I film a lot of reels, like fashion reels for like Walmart and ThredUp, but where it was not working. Like this space feels a little tight to me. It has to be my office where I edit, but I'm also filming in here for reels. So I'm going to try to make it work better for me today. One tip that I've been sharing with you guys for a long time, ever since I've been on here, is make your space now your dream space. Make it your dream home. Even if you're going to grow, even if you're going to get a bigger house one day or move to a different area, maybe it's a different state, wherever you're living now, if it's an apartment, if it's a rental, whatever it is, make it your dream space today. Like you're living there, it is home. And so I've always done that in every space. If it's been an apartment, if it's been our first starter home, I always make it feel like home on whatever budget I have. And we have lived on so many budgets and a small one for the majority of our marriage. And so you can do it, you just have to get creative.
Here we go.
So when it comes to like refreshening a space, especially if you're working on a $0 budget, you've got to declutter and you've got to clean. Those two things right there are going to change the feel of your room, especially if it's cluttered or dirty. Take the time and just do those two things and you're already going to see a difference. Another tip that I always like to talk about is think outside the box. Like this is your home. Just because this is supposed to be an office doesn't mean I have to make it an office. Just because that's a coat closet doesn't mean it has to be a coat closet. Maybe it needs to be a pantry. Maybe you need a pantry more for your food than jackets that can be hung up like already in the closets in the room. So just think outside the box. Think what you're lacking. Try to figure out like what does my dream home have that I want and try to create it in the space you have. It may not be as large, it may not be as grand, but typically you can make it work so that you can fill that void until you can move on, especially with the items you have. So like I'm not buying anything in today's video. I'm just going to rearrange it to make the space function better for my lifestyle.
How's it going down there? Cause the weather up is real nice. In my bag, fill it up, I don't even gotta check the price. Work it, take it, slay it, I don't fake it, I don't play it. If you buy it, I'ma break it. Better play nice. Nah, I'm alright. Under the pressure, winning and pleasure, we go together. Fame and desire, taking me higher, light as a feather.
So for this space, I was really needing a spot I could film reels and do my stories, and I don't love this ring light. Like I don't love using it as decor, and when you walk in my home, you can see my office and you can see the ring light. So I used to keep it in Chase's office and his closet, but then I realized it just wasn't functional, like grabbing it and putting it in and out all the time. So I learned if I flip-flopped it to the other wall, I have it in here to use, but you don't see it when you walk into my home. So that's what I mean by getting creative. It's still in here, I can still use it, but it's a little more hidden than what it was before.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say
So right here I was needing to start rearranging, which is a tip I'll give to you here in a second, but my boys were so tired they did not want to move, so I was trying to let them wake up a little bit before I made them move along so I could finish filming.
Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it.
Okay, so let's talk about this rearranging tip. If you're spending $0 and you've decluttered and you've cleaned, the next thing you're gonna do is have to rearrange. If you want the space to feel different, you're gonna have to move your pieces around, maybe move pieces out. You can move pieces in from somewhere else, which I'm gonna talk about that here in a little bit, but you're definitely gonna have to shake things up if you're wanting the space to feel fresh again.
Baby, I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right away, got so much time looping in the blurry lights.
This desk is so heavy. Like, it's hard to move even when I have Chase helping me, but I was bound and determined to do it. I knew I didn't have to get it far. I'm just trying to get it over here in the corner. And so you're gonna see me just shimmy, just little shimmies back and forth, and we're gonna get it right where we need. You are gonna see me step back here in a second though. Before I get it in the perfect spot, I wanted to make sure I like it. So if you have a heavy piece, don't move it all the way in until you know for sure, because otherwise you're gonna be moving it all the way back. Now I know someone's already in my comment section telling me to put wheels underneath it or those slidey things. It did not cross my mind. Like, when I'm in the mode to do something, I'm just gonna get it done. And it's not gonna be the easy way. It's gonna be any way that I can just get it done at that moment. So what I'm trying to do is put it over here in the corner so I have more walkway. I felt like before this room was really tight, and I don't need a lot of space to edit. I don't mind coming back here in the corner if it gives me more room to like pull products in here and my camera and whatever I'm needing. So like, ideally, I don't love the desk in the corner. I like it kind of being squared off somewhere, but in this phase of life, that's just kind of where I need it. And the thing to remember is we're just rearranging here. If I hate it, I can switch it back. We're not like painting walls. We're not tearing anything down. It's just moving furniture. So if we hate it, we can move it back whenever we want to. Another tip is to shop your home first. Anytime you're decorating a space, try to shop your home. You probably already have a piece you need. If not, then you kind of know what you're looking for. You can use pieces around your house so you can figure out like, okay, something this size is too small, but something this size is too big. That way you have an idea when you're out and you're not just like shopping endlessly, not knowing what you're looking for. But if you can shop your house first, it's always gonna save you time and money. Okay, things are looking really good so far. I'll show you an after here in a second. So originally when my desk was how it was like at the very beginning when we moved in, I had it over this, and this is where we cut a hole to like run the cord to plug it in over here. And it has kind of started to like ravel out a little bit. So I'm just gonna cut that up so when you're looking at the bedroom, you don't like see any of that. So up close, you can see like there's an imperfection, but like from far away, I don't think you're gonna notice too much just because there's like a lot of texture. I'm really liking this so far. I'm calling this like a mini makeover because there's a lot of things that I still wanna do. But this is just like free, just a free little upgrade, free little makeover. We're not buying anything. We're just using what we have, but I am still in the market. You guys have been hearing this for about a year for a light. It's just every light I find is like $2,000 and I just cannot justify spending $2,000 on a light. So I'm still in the hunt for that. I've been looking even since our last house for a chair. Once again, office chairs are so expensive. I love the one I have. I just feel like it's more glam. It's getting dirty. So I've been on the hunt for fabric, and my dad, if you guys don't know, does custom upholstery. I'm just gonna have him recover it because like I said, I like the style. I think it'll be cheaper that way. If I can just buy something and not waste his time, I always try to do that first. Like obviously he would do it anytime for me, but I I just don't want to make him work if he doesn't have to. But I just cannot find anything that's like a decent price that I like. And I'm in here a lot, so I want to love it. So those are two things that are very, very pricey. That will happen one day when I find it. But I wanted to show you just by like cleaning things up and rearranging your space, you can make it function so much better. Now, what I will say, in a perfect world, I would have this back straight right here. Like, I loved that setup, but there wasn't a lot of extra space. And this has to function for two different purposes. I have to be able to sit at my desk and edit, but then I do a lot of reels over on Instagram and a lot of fashion ones. So I have to have a spot. I have a mirror with a light, with a cute background. I use this a lot. I use the bench a lot just to keep products on. So I feel like this is the best setup for me currently. But what's nice is when I'm not doing a lot of reels, if I want to rearrange it, I can. So definitely just think outside the box with your spaces. Like, most people aren't going to think to put a desk in the corner. And it may seem a little odd walking into, but if it gives me two purposes for the space, then it's a win. So think outside the box. I feel like I say that a lot. Like, if you have an extra hall closet and you need a pantry, use it. Do what you got to do. Make that house work for you. So pretty much everything that was in here originally is still in here. It just all has a new home. So this was literally $0. Now, one day I'm gonna have to come in here and upgrade it a little bit more when I want to, when I have the budget, when I have the time, whatever it is. But until then, I've made it work to get me by. So just think about the spaces you have, think about the spaces you need or you're wanting, and try to figure out how you can incorporate that into your home now, just to help your life function a little bit better until you can hit those goals and keep moving forward. Now, I couldn't end this video without showing you some George cuteness right here. He was looking out my front window, but I do want to know your thoughts. Did you like this shorter video where I can give you tips and show you working on smaller spaces so it's not always this like massive video? Do you like the longer videos that are 30 minutes? Did you enjoy this 13-minute one? Do you enjoy tips? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!